a lot of tight-fitting, skimpily clad beach babes out and about, some could have mistaken it for California or Brazil. But one look at the sky and you knew instantly it was Ireland. Bray Seafront recently played host to this year's Coca-Cola Beach Volleyball Festival. There were approximately 80 participants taking part in 3 events: the Irish, intercultural and international competitions. So, an outdoor sport on the beach in Ireland? Sounds interesting.
This is the Coca-Cola Beach Volleyball Championships. It's the 2nd annual. The inaugural event was run last year, 2006. It was a one-day event and we had approximately 18,000 people viewed the event. Well, we sort of started commitment really after last year's event, about September, with the planning in that, and then we started organising voluntary bodies and structured bodies for the sport with the VAI, and we all come together then with our health and safety plan. It runs in conjunction with the Bray Summerfest, which is the largest festival free on the East Coast, and that's about it. The rain will affect the numbers, but we're hoping still to have anything between 15,000, 18,000 today view it, and tomorrow, with the weather forecast is slightly better, we should have at least the same number, so we're hoping to close on double what we had here last year. The event is growing considerably, a lot of extras added on. Intercultural championships, which Paul will talk to you about later, are new for this year. We have a VIP and celebrity area this year, which we're doing a wonderful thing for Special Olympics Ireland. We're actually doing a celebrity game with fun playoffs here tomorrow, Sunday.
Would you consider this a kind of a family affair?
Most definitely it's a family affair. You know, it's very, very spectator friendly, and we very much welcome family people coming down to have a look at it. Sport is a great thing.
We started organising almost a year ago, putting everything together from the concept to just trying to get everything right, attract the best players from overseas to us. So a lot of planning has gone into it. We have 6 American players especially come over for this event. We've brought over an Australian Irish player all the way over from Australia, particularly for the next 6 days to compete in this event.
Do we have any Irish in the event?
We have indeed. We have 6 women players and 6 men players taking part, and they've come through a pretty tough qualification process to have the ability to play here against some of the best players in the world.
And how do you expect them to do?
Well, we're playing against professional players, so we don't expect them to win, but we expect them to really have a good game, to improve their standard of play and gain a whole lot from the experience.
It must be tough for the Irish with the obviously the weather in Ireland to compete with Americans and Australians who have perfect weather all year round.
Well, yeah, I mean the Australians and the Americans are obviously used to good weather all the time, so you never know, a change of weather might favour the Irish today. They'll be more used to dealing with the wet and windy conditions. At the moment though, the sun is fantastic, it's great and we're doing well.
How are you enjoying Ireland so far?
I love Ireland. I love the people, I love the scenery, I love the atmosphere. It's great. You have to train really hard. Some people are natural athletes, but it's a difficult sport and it requires a lot of precision, timing, power, a lot of elements to be a good player. You prepare in the off season with lifting weights, doing different kinds of training to help your speed, power, agility, reaction, quickness, and then you train with doing ball control drills with the ball. So a week, I'd say, you practice, at least 4 or 5 days.
I've never been to Ireland before, so it's the first for me. It's really, really good. Yeah, great people, great atmosphere. Weather, part and parcel in it.
Did you get many of your games out of the way?
We got one game. We've only got one game this morning, which we had. That went okay. Didn't win it, but it's against a very experienced US men's team, so you take the rough with a smooth there. Then we've got one this afternoon, and that'll be against them again, so hoping to enact a bit of revenge on them, I think, today.
Beach volleyball's huge in Australia and USA. Can it ever be that big in UK and Ireland?
Yeah, I believe it can, but it just needs events like this to bring the volleyball to the public. People have a very kind of single-track minded view of volleyball in the UK, and beach volleyball especially. They believe it's glamorous. You've got the sun, the sea, the sand, and that's not how it is. This can be a typical day on the World Tour. You compete with rain, you have to cope with rain, you have to cope with all kinds of weather conditions. So getting it into the UK, getting it into the cities, getting it exposed to the people, that's the hardest part of getting it exposed to people.
Who's your partner?
My partner's a guy called Aaron Crook. He's been playing for about 5 years now. He's got an Irish passport, but he lives out in Australia. He's been playing on the Aussie Tour for the last 5 years. He's played a few World Tour events. He's a very experienced player and he's a great guy to play with.
So you're not living in Ireland at the moment?
No, I'm from Sydney, Australia.
What's it like to come back?
It's great. It's really good. There's I've got heaps of family here, so it's awesome just to see everyone again. And obviously to play the sport that I love in my home country is something that I thought would only be a dream, really.
Do you have lots of support here?
Plenty, yeah. At some stage all my family will be coming down, so yeah, there's hundreds.
And that hopefully will give you a boost, will it, for the competition?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's all good, and it's good for the sport as well. Hopefully, you know, just puts people in the seats and people being loud and all that sort of stuff. So it's all good. We're all going to play with each other, and then at the end, I think there'll be a king of the beach. So I think it's going to be fairly even.
Talk to us about King of the Beach. Explain what that is.
So there's 4 guys and everyone plays with everyone, and then you have, so say I play with the 3 other guys and I win 2 of the 3 games, and then the other guys win most of the games. And basically the guy that's won the most games wins the King of the Beach title.
How important is it to have a partner that you kind of trust and you're in the same mindset as?
Very important. To be honest, that's one of the biggest things. Like, you can have 2 guys that are very talented at volleyball, but they might not really click mentally or like each other or whatever. So you have to have that kind of balance of, you know when to fire each other up, but you also know when to tell people to chill out. You also enjoy spending time with them, because if you don't enjoy time with them, you're going to be together a lot when you're travelling, etc. So you need to be able to get on, and you need to have that good understanding. You need to know where they're going to be passing the ball, what their favourite ball is that they want to hit, etc.
How do you pick a partner?
Well, obviously I'm not the tallest guy, so I need to play with someone that's taller, because I'll be a defender and that person will be the blocker at the net. So first of all, you probably look for height. Ability is obviously a big thing. Youth, you know, you probably want to play with someone sort of closer to your age, or someone you can have a shot getting to the Olympics with.
Who does volleyball suit? What kind of person does volleyball suit?
Volleyball can suit anybody. That's the beauty of it. It's just, all you need is a net and a ball. There's various forms of it. Beach volleyball is one form. That's pairs. You then go into indoor or grass. They can play both 4s, 6s, or again pairs. It's open to anyone, but I just think the important thing is the exposure. People need to be able to know where they can get to play volleyball, where they can go to play it.
How did you get involved in the sport?
Well, my dad actually played volleyball here, and then when we moved to Australia, he started playing some social volleyball, and then I started playing with him, and then I sort of got caught up in the whole state system, so playing state national juniors, and then I started playing beach volleyball and won a few Australian championships, junior championships, and was just pretty much in love with it ever since. So yeah, I just can't get enough.
How about young people trying to get into the sport? Is there any up-and-coming hopefuls?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're looking at developing a whole elite programme, particularly for beach volleyball. For indoor volleyball, the young people, we've tripled our number of young people over the last 2 years in taking part in our junior volleyball programmes. So we're very successful. We hope to continue that in the outside version as well.
The first events to be played were the women's and men's Irish matches. It was the ladies up first, with Deireadh Coonahan and Miriam Gormley coming out on top after the final saw a repeat of the first match against a new and less experienced Dignam and Devarakova. In the men's section, it was Limerick's Apanovic and Resnick who showed superior fitness and excellent teamwork to take the cup for the first time. It was a close battle with Aer Lingus' O'Brien and Whitty. In the inaugural Intercultural Cup, 10 teams of mixed players took part, with a minimum of 3 foreign nationals on each team compulsory. With countries like New Zealand, Brazil and India all taking part, it was a fun event, while boasting a considerably high standard. But with the rain holding off, it was Babel who ended victorious in a 3-set match against a deserved opponent in the Bank of Ireland sports team.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough match. We kind of won the first one comfortably enough, but then got slaughtered in the second set. So I think it took a bit of coaching to kind of come back in the third set. So we're happy with that. We're watching some of the other teams, and especially those guys in the final looked very good in the qualifiers. So we're delighted when we actually came out on top. Well, we all play for a club called Dublin Volleyball Club, based in the south.
So, a successful competition over and a great turnout for an event that is set to be even bigger next year.